I don't know if anybody knows, but I wish we had seen the Hijra of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine our Nabi traveling and traversing the Saudi Arabian desert from Mecca to Medina, and all of the Ansar in Medina waiting anxiously for the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when he arrives, طَلَعَ الْبَدْرُ عَلَيْنَا. Imagine the fervent. There were people climbing on trees. They were using the daf. They were singing. They were chanting. There was immediate happiness that arrived. All of you know the story. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he says, wherever my camel will stop, that will be the place where Masjid al-Nabwi will be built. Unbeknownst to most, however, there was a Sahabi in the audience, in the Ansar, amongst the Ansar, who was witnessing all of this. And noticed there was a little bit of luggage that came off the camel of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Sahabi's name was Abu Ayub Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. He quickly runs, grabs the luggage, and protects it as if it's his own. Now the other companions in the Ansar, they begin to make a disagreement amongst themselves. They begin to discuss amongst themselves. They begin to compete with one another. Well, until Rasulullah's Hujra Mubarak is built in Masjid al-Nabwi, where will he stay? So they said, he will stay with me. The chieftains of the Ansar, no, he will stay with me. No, he will stay with me. No, he will stay with me. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was noticing this, that these companions are discussing, debating very fervently amongst one another where I will stay. When all of a sudden his eyes, his blessed eyesight, came upon Abu Ayub Ansari, who had picked up the luggage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah, he smiles and he says, an individual goes where his luggage is. And so he settles the first dispute, in my opinion, that occurred amongst the Ansar, a friendly dispute amongst the Ansar about where Rasulullah will stay. Abu Ayub Ansari runs home, tells his wife, prepare the room, prepare the room. His wife asks a very peculiar question. Oh, Abu Ayub, will Rasulullah, because he had a two-story home, would he like to stay in the upstairs bedroom? And this is the mafhum of the ahadith, not the exact words of the ahadith. Or will he like to stay in the bottom floor of the house? Abu Ayub al-Ansari begins to think to himself, and he says, Rasulullah must have traversed and traveled hundreds of kilometers through the Arabian desert. Why would I make him climb some stairs? Oh, my wife prepared the room downstairs. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he comes, he arrives, and as he arrives, he says, where is my room? Abu Ayub al-Ansari directs him to the room that has been perfectly placed for him, and he goes and he begins to rest. As he's resting, Abu Ayub al-Ansari goes with his wife upstairs to their bedroom, and as he's climbing the steps, he stops to himself, and then he begins to think, will Abu Ayub al-Ansari place his feet above Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam? He runs down. He says, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I have made a grave mistake. O Rasul of Allah, how can Abu Ayub stand on top of the Nabi of Allah? Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, accept this plea of mine. Please go upstairs and rest in the upstairs bedroom, because you are the Nabi of Allah and I am a humble slave. And so, my dear brothers, this story of Abu Ayub al-Ansari is a master class of adab. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us to have the adab of the Nabi, have the adab of our elders, and have adab of Islam. Ameen. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.